In my opinion, as you see that the persecution of Christians is there worldwide. There needs to be, and it's very important. There needs to be, especially for the Catholic Church. You see, Vatican City is very small, so there needs to be a country which is not a liberal country in the sense which is where all religions are welcomed, etc. There needs to be a country which is governed by Christian principles, and Christianity should be the official religion of that state, and a person is allowed to leave his faith, no doubt, right? I mean, but Christianity should be the first preference in terms of any matter involving religion, and especially the Roman Catholic faith. And the reason being because you see that both in the east as well as in the west, people would be persecuted. And if you see, there are many Islamic countries, and there are some Christian countries as well, but those are Christian liberal countries in the sense that, let's say, a country like all the Scandinavian countries, and the countries which are for example United Kingdom, those countries are within the power of the parliament, and the parliament is becoming highly liberal. So tomorrow, especially with regard to persecution of Christians in the West, I foresee an event, and people, who you could see who are leftist, agree with this thing that there would once come a point when they would, forcefully, they would force people to accept that the LGBTQ thing is moral, and they see it just like slavery. You see, when transgenderism and by transgenderism I mean that the entire aspect of somebody being called somebody who is a male choose to call her female or a woman. So on those issues as well as the homosexuality issues, I see that in America, in Canada, in most of the liberal Christian countries, the left-leaning people, and of course, who knows, United Kingdom, the left liberals would force Christians to agree that, and would force Christians and would force Christian institutions to accept that homosexuality is moral, to accept homosexual marriages, to we already see that people have been fighting for having cakes. I mean, a baker cannot refuse his cake if to a homosexual person, to a person who wants to change his gender identity. A baker is not able to refuse giving cake because to a homosexual couples for homosexual marriage, not for any other purpose, but for homosexual marriage. An orphanage is not able to refuse kids to the for adoption of kids to give to give kids to a homosexual couple. They have to. So such laws which force Christians to go against their morality. These Christians, where will they go? If there are so many Christians persecuted in the Western countries, there are so many Christians by the leftists. You will see so many statues being destroyed as well. And there is general hatred for Christianity and for Roman Catholicism in West. I'm saying for all Christianity. And you clearly see the rise of the Islamic states and rise of the ISIS and Taliban and Pakistan and Pakistan. You see how many of them in the Islamic countries want Sharia. I mean, a recent survey showed that around 74% of people want Sharia law to be there in Pakistan. So there are clearly anti-Christian, anti-Catholic world going on out there. Now, at one point of time, you would say, okay, those who are persecuted can go to these modern countries, these liberal countries. But in liberal countries as well, Christians are persecuted by the LGBTQ and the left. Then where would you go? So, in my opinion, there should be a Christian state. Where it should be, I don't know, but it should be a place where you have naturally many resources, and where you can in my opinion. However, God chose about we know the story of Lot and Abraham. Even if Abraham got a land with deserts, God made that land flowing with honey, right? And we know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. So there should be a Christian, Christian land. There should be a Christian country where there should be an official religion of Christianity, and the Constitution itself should be guided by the Catechism of the Catholic Church, and those things which are punishable, those things which are sin should not be exactly a crime, but at least in these cases, homosexuality, etc., these should not be practiced, and these nobody should force a church to do something like that. And clearly we know that religion should be taught in the schools and everything as Christian. Just like Islamic State, this should be a Christian country as well, and not for anything else but for the protection of Christians worldwide. That's my one of my opinion, because if all the countries become secular, if all the Christian countries become secular and liberal as well, and there is persecution of Christians in the East as well, there is no place for Christians to go except be underground everywhere where they are.